In this video, I'm literally going to share my exact 30k per month infrastructure that allowed me to go from 0 to 30k per month in less than 6 months. And before that time, I was struggling massively. I literally could not sign a client to save my life. And I believe if you implement this and have this knowledge now, it will allow you to go from 0 to 30k per month in less than 90 days. And I truly believe that. You just have to take action. And the people that will win are the people that can not only have the good enough attention span to sit through this video, but also take action and implement what I'm about to share in this video, because all this information is not good if you just don't do anything with it. So yeah, but essentially this will allow you to get enough throughput on the front end of your company, agency, to scale fast. Like, why are we going to be waiting a year to get to 30k per month when we can do it in a matter of a few months? So essentially, right, let's talk about this, because I'm going to be honest, 80 to 90% of agency owners don't even know what a client acquisition system looks like. And the reason you're probably struggling right now with appointment setting and just getting clients is because you simply cannot supply enough units of value to enough people. Now, at the core, right, a system is throughput, and then the latency equals an output, and then you get metrics in the form of, you get data in the form of metrics and KPIs as a feedback loop, right? However, the reason you're struggling is because you cannot simply pour enough throughput into your system. Like, I speak to a lot of beginner agency owners, and when they tell me they're doing 50 DMs a day, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, 50? You really think you can build a business by doing 50 DMs a day? Or, 50 cold emails, or one YouTube video a week. Like, I hear some crazy stuff, and if you're doing low volume, this is your chance to wake up. So essentially what I'm going to tell you is how we can actually build a 30k per month as soon as possible. So we're going to optimize for throughput. We want as much throughput and inputs going into the system, and ideally having a lot of units of value to present to your prospects or leads, and then that will require an output, and an output can be positive or negative. And we can adjust it on whether it's hitting your KPIs or not. So let's say you're not booking meetings right now and you've got the throughput going. Guess what? We've got the data in the form of metrics to adjust the throughput inputs to require a different output. So that's kind of how it works. You just have to put as much volume into your system as possible, and then you'll get data and you'll get outputs regardless, both positive or negative. And if it's negative, then you just have to change the inputs until you find something that works and you've got a proof of concept. So let's talk about this. The first thing you need, right, to get to 30k per month is an optimized offer with resonance and product market fit. And once again, most beginner agency owners, they start their journey by looking at what their competitors are selling, and then they just start with their journey. They do outreach and wonder why they're failing. It's like you're building a business, you're building a company, and you think you can just look at what your competitors are doing, copy them, and expect a different result. Bearing in mind 80% of agency owners are broke. So what you should be doing is starting from the other end. We should be understanding cognitive psychology, examining how consumers process information, and just why people buy stuff in the first place, and why people book appointments. If you don't know why people book appointments, you don't understand curiosity, you don't understand, just pain, then you're not going to be able to book meetings, quite simply. But next is product market fit. Once again, you shouldn't be selling what you want. So you watching this video right now, you shouldn't be selling what you want to sell. You should be selling what the market wants. And I get asked a lot, how do you know what the market wants? And once again, the solution is volume. If you put enough inputs into your outreach and just testing for product market fit, you're going to get sort of feedback, and you'll know very quickly if what you're selling isn't good. Next is, and also you can just speak to people in your niche, just speak to them and tell them is this something that you would generally find valuable and change your business. Next is resonance, the stimuli. So the actual copy and the components of your copy, whether it be Instagram DMs, emails, and just the words in general, should resonate with your niche. And it should cause agitation. This is like an emotional appeal. They should get agitated from their current situation, because the main reason why people buy stuff is to get out of their current situation and into a desired situation. So we need to cause some type of emotional appeal in the actual process. And the final thing you do is competitive analysis. You look at what your competitors are selling. However, most beginner agency owners, they only look at this and then just start outreach, and and it doesn't go well. So let's talk about this. essentially, right, we've got a ton of value on the screen, so definitely keep watching. But we've got inbound and outbound. Now, let's start with outbound actually, because I went over inbound in my last few videos. But essentially, right, for outbound, what I would do if I had to start again is hire a VA, a growth specialist, for $400 a month to send 100 to 250 DMs a day. Also follow 100 to 250 ideal client profiles per day, and provide sales assets to get their interest. Now, I'm going to go over sales assets in a minute, right? But the reason I struggled for 6 months and I couldn't book meetings consistently, I couldn't sign a client for a whole 6 months, was going back to this, I could not provide enough throughput into my client acquisition system. I was sending 50 DMs a day and expecting like a crazy result. Even getting to 10K per month, which I don't think is hard. I think pretty much anyone can do that, even if you're inconsistent. But you still need a decent amount of throughput to get there. So, yeah, hire a VA, growth specialist, to do the volume. Because once you do volume, you can get feedback. And it acts as a feedback loop because we can change the inputs to get a different output. But you only really get results once you can actually provide the volume. And it's the same for, I'm going to be going over inbound. It's the exact same for inbound basically. You need to be doing volume. So it's basically, we're trying to get credibility, content, community, conversations, and then conversion. These are the 5 C's. This is what we have to be doing nowadays if you run an agency. So yeah, the VAs and the growth specialists are great. And I get asked a lot, people are scared to put $400 a month into a VA, which is nuts. And bear in mind, I probably was when I started, but as the only thing holding you back, and I think the only difference between me and you, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I want to be doing 100, 200, 500K per month, in the next few years, hopefully. But the thing that I think the main difference between someone who's doing even just 0 to 10K is their ability to make decisions. Now, the ability to make decisions is sort of based on your paradigm and your belief system. But yeah, so if you're not making let's say you're not signing clients, what makes you think your decision making is good enough to decide not to do this? Because that is probably what's holding you back here, the ability to make good decisions. And I'm telling you, a good decision is to invest in a VA for $400 a month. Now, once you do this and you get the volume, you're going to get a lot of conversations started, which means that you're going to get a lot of feedback. And also you should make sure they track their outreach well. But yeah, I've already made a video on that. But essentially, right, once you've got the outbound dialed in, especially this side, you can also do 200 cold emails a day. Now you can automate it through Instantly. Now, once again, don't just copy the shiny scripts from YouTube. That's another reason why I failed so bad when I started, was because I went on YouTube, searched the best cold email script and copied it. And I didn't really understand overexposure, conditioned stimuli or conditioned prospects. And basically this means that because you use the same script as everyone else, it's become conditioned in the prospect's mind. Likewise, when you provide certain words in your email copy, like agency, I'm trying to think of another one. Yeah, I think you get what I'm saying here. When you put certain words and your prospect sees that, it automatically sets off a trigger because they've seen it thousands of times before by other agency owners. So overexposure is a massive one. So you need to get creative nowadays. You need to make your copy really short, concise, and just, optimize for agitation, and then, just understand psychology basically. But yeah, do 200 a day. And what you'll find is that both of these things for outbound, we have fully got leverage here, because this is automated through Instantly. So we can do this. We can literally send, if they're doing, let's just say 100, we can do 300 to 500 outbound messages or emails every single day with less than 30 minutes of work, which is perfect. That is what we're looking for. Let me repeat, you can do 500 outreach per day with less than 30 minutes of work. That is what you need. Next is going to be inbound. Now, this is, once again, if I had to start again, this is what I would do. You would basically have organic and paid. I don't recommend paid yet. Paid comes when you're doing about 7.5 to 10K per month, in my opinion. Obviously, you can do it at 5K per month, or if you've just got an absolute shit ton of money laying around, you can just do paid, because once again, we can just put as much throughput and get as much attention into the system as possible. But essentially, organic, right, is sales assets in the form of long form YouTube. Just like what I'm doing, you should also be doing it. Next, the two things you get from YouTube is increased trust, authority, reciprocity, meaning that when you give someone something, they're much more likely to give you something back. And it's also like 10 times easier to close people. And it's also 10 times easier to get more attention. Even if you're only getting a few hundred views per YouTube video, that is enough to maybe book 1 or 2 meetings. So yeah, put as much volume. And also like this helps because it's like a long form video. You can also provide that to the people who follow you back on Instagram because it's a sales asset, which means that we can essentially like loop these two together, which is awesome. And from YouTube, you should focus on building communities in your niche. For example, let's say you're working with, I don't know, like a specific niche. Let's do e-commerce. Let's say you're working with e-com brand owners. What can you do? You can create a community for them. For example, a Discord, a Facebook group, a free Facebook group. And what you'll do, right, is once you've got enough people in your community, because once again, this takes time to build, like with Outbound, people expect that you can do this for a week, a month, 2 months, and to get results. Now, obviously, if you're doing this much volume, you'll get results, both positive or negatively. But I'm basically, latency here, latency and buffer means that the work you do today will ultimately give you like your desired outcomes 1 or 2 months down the road. So don't get disheartened if you're doing the volume today and you're not seeing results, because it takes time and there's outreach buffer and latency that actually needs to take place. And basically what that means is like once the throughput has entered the system, it takes time to get to the output basically. That's all I'm saying. But for inbound, I definitely recommend posting long form YouTube videos. And what you do is you'll get owned attention, because the motto should be to get attention, own that attention, and then convert that attention, along with the five C's basically. So then once you've got a community, have a $4 hour VA, basically inbound setter, to convert your audience into appointments. Now, yeah, you can even do this on Instagram as well, because you're getting your VA to follow you so many, like, for example, let's say you're working with, let's just do e-com. And I do just want to say that this can work with Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. It doesn't have to be Instagram. It really depends on what niche you're working with. For example, if you're working with like realtors, then it may be a better idea to build a personal brand on LinkedIn. And we can do the same thing. We can get, the VA to connect with as many people as possible on LinkedIn instead of Instagram. Yeah, it really depends where your niche hangs out. But essentially, let's say you're getting a lot of connects on LinkedIn. We can then provide those leads with the free assets that you've created, and you can give them your YouTube videos, which will shorten the sales cycle. So what this means is that the reason you're struggling to close clients or book meetings is because like the prospect has no idea who you are. They're not going to trust you because you're a complete stranger. So by providing these assets like long form videos to your prospects on platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, and starting a conversation, and once you send them the asset, you can then basically start a conversation, see if they've got any problems, and book them in for an appointment. So yeah, once you've done this, it shortens the sales cycle, which means that you can get like 1 call closes. You can close a client in a 30 to 45 minute period, and just book more meetings by doing so. But essentially, right, this is the strategy. This is what I would do. You have to start as many conversations as you can in a day with your niche. Now, it definitely helps if they know you, which is why I'm telling you to create like content basically, or just follow as many people as possible so you can get inbound followers from the VAs. But yeah, if you're scared to like invest a bit of money, you're basically like, if you can't do this, like let's say you're scared of investing $400 a month, do you really like believe in yourself? Because I see a lot of people and they want to hire commission setters. But like, trust me, this is much better, because like if you get a good commission setter, they'll be charging you more than this basically. So yeah, that's the plan. And for paid, this comes at when you're doing like 5 to 10 or 7.5 to 10K. That's what I would do personally. And even then you don't need it, because I generally think like organic content is just as good. But you can then do IG or Facebook ads. And the call to action for these ads should be, so this is like to book meetings for your agency basically. So let's say you're an AI automation agency helping I don't know, like hotels, you would run Facebook ads for yourself once you get to 10K per month. But the call to action, instead of being a booked call, because a lot of people, right, they have the call to action, and it's the same with like cold emails. The cheapest form of cost per acquisition is a free asset or training. Just like what you've done with your YouTube videos here, where you're posting, once, twice a week maybe, you're going to create an extra long, insanely valuable video for them, and that should be the CTA for your ads. Or it could be like a cheat sheet or just something you're giving them something basically. Because then you can get their email from like a pop-up and like a form, for example, when they get on the landing page. You then go their email, SMS, and you can basically do email drip campaigns and SMS blast to book appointments and just book more appointments than you know what to do with. But essentially, like, the better you understand psychology as well and human nature, the easier it will be to grow your agency. Because it all comes down, like, if you can understand why people book appointments, why people buy things, why your niche does X, Y, Z, you get to learn, it's going to be an easier journey basically. And then also consistency compounds. Like over time, it's insane. But just like with like investing in stocks, like in the S&P 500, over time, it literally goes crazy and it compounds. Your growth as an entrepreneur, it will not be a steady journey. So if you're struggling now, let's say you're not making anything, you've got no clients, I promise you, if you keep going and you keep doing the volume and you keep putting enough throughput into your agency, eventually you will see results and it will be crazy and it will happen very quickly. So my point is that if you quit or you slack off with the volume, then you will never get that. But stay consistent, follow the 5 C's. Credibility, we do that by just getting as many followers as possible. Content, community, conversations, and then conversions. Hopefully you like this video. Now, if you want like a trained appointment setter who I've already trained to book meetings and you want just like 50 to 100 meetings a month done for you, but then you also want your offer built out by me personally, and you just want one-to-one coaching and for someone to literally give you the systems that I've used exactly in terms of scripts, stimuli, and just copy to scale an agency to 30K per month as quickly as possible, then I'll leave a link in the description. It'll be the first link. Have a chat with me if I can help you. I don't know, maybe I can, maybe I can't, I don't know yet. But it's probably worth a chat if you're struggling to book meetings. That's it from me. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment whatever videos you want next on the channel. I'm always open to your guys' ideas. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Subscribe with notifications on. And join the free Discord if you want some help for free. Peace.